Hi guys, welcome to today's Gelbes. I'm going to introduce you how it is to give birth in Germany. I myself had a C-section in Munich. There are two hospitals I can recommend. Number one is Klinikum Harlaching, which is a little bit in the south. Klinikum rechts der Isar, which is downtown. I personally went to Harlaching. The doctors are great. The midwives, frankly speaking, are a little bit rude, but we're Germans, it's expected to be rude, I guess. How did it go? I went to the Geburtsanmeldung, where they did the general checkup. They gave me the date when I'm supposed to come. I'm supposed to come for the C-section. I had to be there at 7 a.m., I believe. I was very lucky because they took me in as the first one. They got me into the room where I had to wait for a little bit of time, and I had to get undressed and put already the gown on until someone picked me up, which took about almost 45 minutes. I could be there with my husband, which was good because of course he was nervous too. It's our first baby. When they picked me up, he was brought to a different room. In that room, he was prepared to be able to go also in the operation room. I was already moved to the operation room because they put the anesthesia. Actually, what they did the spinal anesthesia, so I was numb from everything down the waist. And well, the actual event of the C-section took altogether like 45 minutes as well. 5 minutes until the baby was out, because everything went very smooth, but they had to stitch me up after that. Once you give birth with a C-section, you're expected to be in the hospital for like 3 days. I stayed 4, I believe, or almost 5 voluntarily because I didn't feel so good. And we had a family room, so we were together, and I felt better in the hospital where the midwives were helping us. Even though I was surprised, after we got out of the surgery, the midwives did not really help much, to be honest, because they kind of expected you to know already something. And my husband and me, we didn't know anything. We didn't even know how to change the diaper. Once you get out, they're gonna give you this, which is your kid's yellow booklet. And in this yellow booklet are all the important examinations. So when you give birth, the kid will have already the first day the U1. U is for Untersuchung, which means examination 1. So immediately that day they will check if everything is okay, all fingers, all toes, right color, breathing well, organs fine, etc. Then 2 or 3 days later, they're gonna have the U2, the second examination, which is on the 3rd day. Usually after that you can leave the hospital.
Here you can see my son's yellow booklet when he had the U2. On the left, the doctor will check and let you know if there's anything on the movement, the head, the eyes, or in the mouth. On the bottom, you can ask for a certain consultancy. For instance, if you want to have a consultancy for breastfeeding, which was for me, frankly speaking, a big challenge, but I did it without special help. On the right side, you then see the results. You see the weight and the height of your kid, as well as the head diameter, and Gesamtergebnis is the final result. If there's anything obvious, this you want to have no observation. On the bottom, the hospital will recommend you if they want your kid to see another doctor on some screening, or if they want to give the kid a vitamin or other medication. Also, you find a poop sample card. For each U, there's an information for the parents.
We have altogether about 5 U's in the first year of the baby, which is kind of like in the US. In the US, you will have every 2 months some kind of checkup with the doctor. Here you have defined schedules, which means it says clearly when your baby was born, between this date and this date, you should do this U. Between that date and that date, the other one, etc. Actually goes all the way up to the J1, which is the teenager examination. So you will know when to schedule what. Now I'm doing this video because we recently had the U6. My son is now more than a year old, and he was checked the first time, the vision, because now obviously he's more aware. So the vision check went fine. He had the right weight according to the graphs. The same graphs are used in the US. Then here in Germany, we had another set of vaccinations. What is also very important with regard to the vaccinations. In the US, you do pretty much the same vaccinations than in Germany. It is orchestrated by the CDC in America. Here in Germany, it's the RKI, Robert Koch Institute, which is having an Impfkalender, a calendar for vaccinations. And this Impfkalender is usually the recommended vaccinations for your baby. The first ones are about 3 months. We did them, I believe, after 10 weeks already. So he was able to fly. You do not have to do all the vaccinations. Some are more critical than others. So far, we did everything according to schedule because they are already in combination shots. And with regard to vaccinations, we like yellow, so you get an Impfpass. So a passport basically of vaccinations. Super helpful. So to repeat, we have a yellow booklet for the baby's examinations, how he's doing, the weight, the height, all in here, and the Impfpass with all the important vaccinations. And it looks kind of like this, where you can see what is the vaccination against. Here are the companies of the vaccine that they gave, and here is the doctor who gave the vaccination and the signature. And the date, of course. Very, very helpful. I always keep mine with me, and I'm 30-something years old, and I'm very happy that my son has one too. With the US, which I experienced during the beginning of my pregnancy, everything was online, which was also very convenient, but I had to print out everything or bring it on the phone, and it was kind of messy because I have a bunch of other things on the phone and just to have loose papers. So for me, I'm super happy with my little Impfpass, and I'm happy that my son has one too. So you want to have the yellow booklet and you want to have the Impfpass. And now I'm going to show you a little clip of my son's U6.
Okay, let's go.
Augen top. Gewicht top. Kopf top. Ja? Und Größe tipptopp. High five. Yeah!
The booklet shows